Okay. Hello, everybody. May 1st. I love that this goddess meditation landed on this day. And there seems to be a lot of really potent energies that are circling around today, from last night as well. I could feel it in the air. It was very interesting. Who do we have? Who do we have? Who do we have? Interesting. So we have Uzume. Can you see her there? Uzume. So let me see if I can call her up and have her on the screen. Just give me one sec here. Uzume. Oh, good. There she is. This one should work. And okay, perfect. So I will share screen so that you can see her as well. There you go. So, Uzume, I know is Japanese, but let's just get her story here. So you can't see it on the screen, but her, the quality that we connect with her in this, with the Goddess Oracle is laughter. So Uzume, pronounced Uzume, ancient Japan's shaman-Goddess, is credited as being sorry, my voice is still a bit off. Is credited as being the one to entice the sun goddess Ameratsu Omikami out of the cave where she had hidden because she was hurt, harmed, traumatized, and withdrew herself. And of course, as happens, that had very dire consequences for the world. So Uzume did a bawdy dance making fun of shamanic ritual. She exposed her breasts, she played with her genitals, amidst the howls of laughter of the deities assembled. So loud and enticing was the uproar she created that Ameratsu's curiosity got the better of her, and she came out of her cave. So she brought sun and light back. Uzume begins her cosmic dance in your life to tell you it is time to nurture wholeness with laughter. Laughter causes us to relax, enables us to gain perspective, helps ease us through difficulties. So paying attention to where you may have been taking life too seriously. So let me start the music. I will invite you to close your eyes, to start to breathe. Well, not start to breathe, but start to breathe deeply. To drop into that meditative place, that inner place. Oh, I didn't see there were chats happening. Oh, well, she is jovial and bountiful, to go with Beltane, bringing the laughter. Before the rock cave of heaven, where Ameratsu Omikami, the sun goddess, had hidden her radiant face, where all the assembled gods and goddesses had tried and failed to lure her out, I stepped up to the cave with utmost seriousness, with grave determination, with proper decorum and a lofty mien, and with a bump and a bump and a bump, 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 lifted my kimono and revealed myself in ways that caused the mouths of the exalted ones to water and fall open. And then I played puppet with my labia, and I paid myself a little lip service, and I heaved my breast over one shoulder and the other over the other, and I landed on my ass with a bump and a bump and a bump, 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 amidst the explosions of laughter and merriment of the esteemed crowd. With breasts tied in a knot, my legs spread like a welcome mat, I called in the spirits and offered them my body, but they refused to take it. The crowd howled and laughed as I continued my dance, till Ameratsu, Omikami, couldn't stand it any longer and rushed out to see what was what. And thus did laughter win the sun goddess from her dark cave and bring light and warmth back into the world. So breathe deeply into that place within to open yourself to connecting, communing, communicating with the goddess Uzume, to hear all she has to say about the healing gift of laughter. Bring your awareness once more back to your breath. We're going to slowly start the journey back, but just take another moment or two to be open to any final messages. Any last insights? And as you focus your awareness once more on the inhale and the exhale, following the exhale as it brings you back into the space where you are, the room where you sit, thanking Uzume for the journey and for the insights. Slowly bringing yourself back to the here and now. To this time and space. For those who want to share with those who are watching in Zoom land, you're welcome to come back on camera. But if not, you can stay off camera. Just share for a bit. Excuse me. Did anyone want to share first with our friends in Zoom land? Yeah?
So, this was a little bit uncomfortable for me. I'm not really all that familiar with Uzume, but I did get some strong messages from her, and the main message was lighten the heart, lighten my heart, which is very relevant for me right now. So I'm grateful for that time with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Anita. Yeah, I found very much it was that energy of lightness, and we can, there are things. It's so funny, you know, especially we spent the weekend or Sunday yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. You know, talking about the dark emotions and the heavy emotions and the gravitas. You know, the weight that is carried, and how important it is to be able to have the courage to face those. And Izumi is a very different energy because it's almost a sense of she acknowledges, yes, this happened. It's not that she's saying to Ameratsu, just ignore what happened to you, but it is a sense of that if you are hiding in the cave because of the pain of what happened, you are the one who is in the cave. You know, that you're the one who is in the dark. So the lightness is about bringing that lightness to our hearts as well, not to take away the veracity, the validation of what we have gone through, the pain that we're experiencing, or the burden that we've carried, but to allow for it's the lightness of the heart that's going to give us I think the continued strength to be able to face what it is that we need to face. And I was thinking about, there was a couple of things. One of the things actually which just happened today, which was interesting because earlier when I got the keys, and then George and I met our friends at the garden center. So I wanted something for the garden, and they picked up some things as well. And so one of them was actually Christopher, and I paid, and I was in line, so I was sort of putting some stuff away, and he was behind me, and I heard this like flurry of Welsh, and all I heard was Maggie Nuggy, and I realized that the cash register had recognized him from his voice and was so excited that Maggie Noggy was in the garden center and asked for his autograph as Maggie Noggy. So that was all happening. And then we went out, and then I realized that I wanted more compost. So I went back in, and she was like telling everybody, like, oh, Maggie Noggy was here. Yeah, Maggie Noggy was in. Well, and I thought, oh, she's Uzume. It's that same energy. It's that irreverence. I remember saying once to oh, Maggie Noggy should blah blah blah, and he'd like, oh, she'd never do that. She's a good church girl, right? And there is something about that. It just felt like Azumi energy, and it brings a lightness to the heaviness of what can be like life as well. And I thought about that as well with my first husband, who was a comedian, and I remember overhearing a conversation that he had once as well, just about it's the comedians, and very often they're talking about the things that are true, things that are hard, the things that break our hearts, but in such a way that it makes us laugh, and so that gives us the energy and the strength to be able to carry on and move through what is so hard. So it's the incredible power of laughter, and the lightness, I think, the ability to make fun of ourselves, which gives permission for the laughter to come forth, is what I really saw with Azumi. I was just looking at her picture, and again, it's like, oh, have I brushed my hair? Am I presentable? But she's like, whatever, it is what it is, and I can make fun of myself, because what is truer than what you see here is the strength of my spirit. That is the truth of my soul. So that was my little thoughts. If anybody else wants to share to the people in Zoom land, if not, do you, Maria? Yeah.
Hello. I feel like I've been working with this energy because it was what I needed to hear before this happened, because I kind of was constantly asking, like, like, it's like, I don't know how to make it not sound cheesy, but it's that gratitude as the answer, where sometimes you're just like, I don't know what's off, like something's off, but I don't know what it is. But it's finding that levity, that lightness and joy every day in the morning to start the day right. And then it kind of can really shift, big shifts, right? It's such a small shift mentally, but can make such a huge shift in how we experience life. So I had this like inkling to look her up, and I found this article that said that she's based on like a Indo-Proto-European goddess of the dawn, which is like, was also like Aurora, and Ostara, which is like, I wanted a spring goddess. I was like, as pulling the card, I was bringing it to you. I'm like, I hope it's a spring goddess. And it literally is. And I just found that image of dawn, it's such a, after a heavy night, or maybe a scary night, or intense long night, or just feeling despair, and then having that crack of dawn, that lightness coming through. It's so powerful, and it's so small at first and quiet, but it's just like, and it then expands into the day. So I just find that image of dawn as like that decision we can make to like put that to the side, leave it in the past, and then start something, let it expand and let the feelings go by, and then let the light expand again and see positivity, not in a cheesy way, but like in a powerful,
Yeah.
that we already are surrounded by so much beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because that whole thing about her being outside of the cave and enticing Ameratsu as the sun goddess to come out. It's almost like she's not the dawn, but she brings the sun back. So she's like the motivation for dawn to arrive, which still makes her a dawn goddess. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you. And I saw you put the link to the article in the chat. Did you?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Good. Okay. So let's just. I'm just going to ping Uzume here, and then we'll have another chat. So we have Uzume on the little window altar to hold this space of the first week of May, dancing us in on May Day. So I will say goodbye to everybody in Zoom land. And thank you for joining us in the recording.